26,990 drive away. Odometer, 0 kilometers. 26,990 drive away. Odometer, 0 kilometers. 26,990 drive away. Odometer, 0 kilometers. 27,500 drive away. Odometer, 15 kilometers. 27,500 odometer, 18 kilometers. 27,500 odometer, 15 kilometers. Yeah, I think you get the picture. The MG4 is a lot cheaper than what people realize. The price has been reduced by up to $13,000. Not what the media are telling you. They're saying 10,000. It's actually 13. Media reports have come out in Australia here within the last few hours, in fact within the last 4 or 5 hours, that the MG4, one of the most popular electric cars worldwide, and in fact a really good car, rear-wheel drive, there's a hot hatch version, it's a ground-up built EV. It's actually a really, really good car. It's won 15 different global awards. Price, right? They're saying, these media reports are kind of incorrectly saying the price has been discounted to 31,000 Australian dollars drive away. That's about 19,000 euros. It's therefore, I think, the best value car in Australian history. You've got to say. If that were the price, that would be a good story. But the story is actually better than that. The media, for some reason, all these journalists that have done these media reports, which are great, I mean, good on them, none of them actually checked what the prices actually really are. And the prices are not what they're saying. In fact, as soon as I saw these reports, I went, okay, I'm going to jump on the websites, car sales. I'm going to jump on find out what dealers are actually charging. What does it cost to buy? Get one of these cars drive away. So when I say drive away, that means the price of an MG4 plus the fees, registration, stamp duty, all the extra fees you've got to pay. That price includes those fees. But the prices, like I said, are actually different to what the media is saying, but in very much a good way. In fact, I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. If you just bought a Toyota Corolla, a Mazda 3, Kia Cerato, any kind of hatch that is internal combustion, you should just beg your dealer to take it back, saying, I'm so sorry, I made an enormous mistake. I want an MG4, because holy smokes. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. I have personally ordered an XPeng G6. Now, for me, the MG4 is not really ideal. I need a bigger vehicle. I need something that's similar to a Tesla Model Y, but I think better for a few different reasons. For example, range is a lot better for the price. 120 kilometers more range than the equivalent priced Model Y. You get a lot of things standard you don't get on the Model Y. And when I say a lot of things, I mean a lot of things. Anyhow, if you want to order one of those, you can. I don't make any money from it, but you can use my link and you'll get a free charger and free installation, which is worth a couple of $1,000. So it's definitely worth it. That's an 11 kilowatt charger, 7 kilowatt on single phase, 11 kilowatt for me on 3-phase. That's what I'll be getting. Can't wait. Guys, I've actually got one in my driveway right now. I'm going to drive it down to Melbourne and back. A couple of 1,000-kilometer journey. That's happening tomorrow. MG4 price is actually $27,000 drive away. Australian. So yeah, about 18,000 US dollars. Drive away, taxes, everything included. 18,000 US dollars, 27,000 Australian dollars for what is a really good car. This is not some run out special. We're dumping stock because it's crap. These are really good. I've jumped on car sales. You can see here the price of the base version in a number of states. I think I found about 30 different cars. 30 is enough to really go with this, right? $27,000 drive away. And they don't have any kilometers on the clock. I'm not talking demo specials. These are actually new cars, right? I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. Now, there's some that are 28,000. There's some that I think I even found one that was 26,000. That might have been sold by the time you see this video. I'm going to guess it probably is. But anyway, between 26,000 and 28,000, average price $27,000 drive away, meaning the real price is around $24,000. $24,000 for a really good vehicle. I mean, it's not state of the art, but I mean, think about it, right? 350 kilometers of WLTP range, so what, about 220 miles of EPA or WLTP range, probably approximately 220 miles, 350 kilometers. All right, this thing is a little bigger than a Toyota Corolla on the inside. It's, looks good. It's rear-wheel drive. It's got plenty of power. The base model has, I believe, 125 kilowatt. That's about 160 horsepower. It's plenty of power, right? 250 newton meters of torque. It'll do 0 to 100, 0 to 62 miles an hour in, what is it, about 7.9 seconds. It's definitely fast enough. This car is amazing. Charging speed, amazing for the price, I'm saying. Charging speed, 115 kilowatt. It'll charge in, I believe, 39 minutes from 10 to 80%. Then, in my opinion, the better value car than this, crazy to say that, right? Better value car than this is the mid-spec version, not the long range, the mid-spec version. There's 3 different battery size options. All variants of this car have had their price slashed. The cheapest version has had the biggest discount of $10,000. Now, the media is saying $10,000. That's not really true, because if you look at the price, $27,000 drive away, that's actually more like about $13,000 discount. Unbelievable. Anyhow, the other variants of this car have had their price discounted a little bit less than that, between $8,000 to $10,000. I'm not going to quote the media stories because they're actually wrong. It's actually discounted more than what the media is saying. So the mid-spec version, it has a bigger battery. The standard version that we've been talking about, 51 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery. The mid-spec has a 62 kilowatt hour battery. Anyhow, it has about 440 kilometers of WLTP range. That model I found for $32,000 to $33,000 drive away, so around $30,000. And it does have some other advantages to the base version, including more power. It's got 150 kilowatts, so about 200 horsepower. It's therefore a bit faster. It's got faster charging speeds. I believe the charging speeds are about 135 kilowatt. It's actually that model's the fastest charging. That charges in about 35 minutes from 10 to 80%. I mean, it's not super fast, but it's not bad, right? So that's what I think that's the better value vehicle. You're getting that extra range. I think for the average person, 440 kilometers WLTP range, that's the sweet spot. Bit faster charging, more power. I just think it's worth paying the extra $6,000 to get that. Now, not for everyone. Now, this could be a second car for a lot of people. If it's a second car, you're probably not going to need that kind of range. You just get the cheaper version. Then there is the long range version, right? The long range version it's got a really big 77 kilowatt hour battery pack. That's going to get in the real world probably around 500 kilometers of range. That's a really cool car. The price for that vehicle as well, I've seen those for around about $40,000 drive away. The X-Power, it's had its price discounted as well. They're going to be about $50,000 for one of the fastest cars you can buy. The X-Power, I see so much criticism of the X-Power by the media. I don't understand. They're missing the point. I mean, think about it like this. They keep on saying, hot hatches are not just about straight line speed. And, well, that's true. I mean, no car is ever just about straight line speed. The X-Power, right, the MG X-Power, it can do 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds. It destroys a Volkswagen Golf R in terms of straight line speed. It's ridiculously powerful. I think it's got about 368 kilowatts, something like that. So about, nearly 500 horsepower, dual motor. It doesn't use the 77 kilowatt hour battery. The reason being that they thought for the performance version, it'd be a bit heavy. So they put the 66 kilowatt hour battery in there. Yeah, so range is lower as a result, but this thing's incredibly good. And the truth is, if you think about it, I mean, I personally read thousands of car reviews of hot hatches and different performance car reviews over the last, 30 years of my life. I've read so many. If I was paid $1 for everyone I read, I'd be rich, right? Anyhow, they never mention one thing. They never mention track times. Never. I mean, I've been reading publications, multiple publications. I mean, I'm talking motor, wheels, car, Evo, car and driver. The list goes on, right? I've bought them all. It's very rare that they mention lap times, right? When they test cars, they test performance cars, they test hot hatches, almost never mention lap times. What's the one thing they always mention without fail? For any car, even if it's not a performance car, any car, every single car, they mention the 0 to 100 kilometer an hour time, 0 to 62 miles an hour time. That is what they talk about. Every single article is what is the performance in a straight line. So people do care. That is actually clearly the number one metric, right? And when I say it's the number one metric, well, there's a reason for this. It's not just about performance, having fun. It's also about the reality of everyday driving, right? Being able to zip into a lane, overtake quickly, being able to merge, in some situations, if you can accelerate fast out of an intersection, it gives you a lot more confidence, right, to drive more safely. So performance is actually incredibly important. The X-Power nails that. And I think the X-Power is a brilliant car. I don't understand why the media people have been criticizing it so much. It's insanely good value. Now, personally, I would prefer a Tesla Model 3 performance, of course. I think everyone would, but they're $35,000 more expensive. So, apples, can't compare apples to lemons, right? If it's an apples to apples comparison, the MG X-Power is the best value performance car. Under $70,000 anywhere in the world. Performance, period. So which of these models do I think people are going to buy? Well, honestly, MG, they're going to sell so many MG4s based on these prices. Clearly, they are making a loss. There's no way they can be making a profit on these cars. They've got to purchase the cars, right? Get them built in right-hand drive, which is going to add a little bit to the cost. It's definitely going to add a little bit. You've got to homologate them for Australia, meet all the Australian regulations. Then they've got to put them on a ship, send them all the way over to Australia, pay for the shipping costs. Then they have to pay their local distributors, their local salespeople. There's a lot of hands. There's a lot of hands that have to make some money, right? And then they're selling them at a lower price than any internal combustion similarly sized car anywhere in Australia. This is the cheapest. This is the cheapest hatchback in Australia. That's this size. It's a similar size to something like a Volkswagen Golf or a Toyota Corolla. It's the cheapest. And it's the best. Thanks for watching.